everyone. I'm Mark Ducharme. I'll call you play-by-play. Weymouth North and Marshfield the last 2 years. Some wacky happenings in that Weymouth North will control the action for 3 quarters. Take a good-sized lead into the 4th quarter, but come up with some big mistakes. Allow Marshfield to come back with some big plays and lose at the wire to the Rams. As the Rams and the Maroons this year come into the action about even. Marshfield 3-4-1. They come off a 12-all tie with Randolph in a game which Marshfield seemingly had won. Weymouth North, on the other hand, has won their last 2, blasting Quincy 43-12 and defeating Hingham 12-0. Marshfield loves to throw the football. They love to run wide. Weymouth North has got to get out and slow down the Marshfield attack from getting wide, from throwing the football. Weymouth North will have to control the football with their running game, as that has been the key to the Maroons' success for the past couple of weeks in winning their last 2 games. As Weymouth North has apparently won the toss, and they will defer to the second half. Marshfield will be receiving. It'll be Weymouth North's ball control against Marshfield's wide-open attack. And we'll be back for the opening kickoff of tonight's game, Weymouth North and Marshfield, in just 1 moment. Brian Baumeister getting set to kick off for Weymouth North, and awaiting the kick of Brian as they're just about to go back. Number 42, John McNeil. Number 15, Dan Cunningham. And number 22, Bob McDonald. As maybe in the background you can hear a little bit of humming or interference sound. And that is because the public address system here at Legion Field is having a little bit of trouble, and that is causing a little bit of humming in the background. So bear with us as Weymouth North and Marshfield are about set to go, and we should have a good football game. And a high short kick. One of the up people taking it for Marshfield, and that is Judd Hill. And he's going to be brought down at the 35, and that's where Marshfield will start. They run a double tight end, Scott Nelson, Judd Hill, Pete Potello, Scott Martin, Sean Regan, Vic Paquette, John Hatfield, a veteran offensive line. The backfield, Dan Cunningham, Bob McDonald, John McNeil, and Scott Ritchie. As first play, Ruisi has trouble, and he slips and goes down back at the 30-yard line. Second and 16 for Marshfield, as this is the Weymouth North defense the Rams will face. Daly, Shea, O'Malley, McCarthy, Jackson, the front 5, Mahoney, Chase on the backers. Gately and Baumeister in there because of injury playing the corners. Sweeney, McCluskey, the safety. Bob McDonald. McDonald around the corner and slips down at about the 39-yard line after he picked up 9.
McDonnell on the carry.
McDonnell
brought down by Tim Sweeney.
Is 6 yards shy of a first down, so it'll be 3rd and 5 yards for Marshfield first down. McDonnell had a good head of steam heading around the corner, but as he hit the 39-yard line, he slipped. 3rd and 6 for Marshfield. You could look for Ruisi's first pass of the ball game. For Judd Hill, and Hill could not get it. Brian Chase on in coverage. And it's 4th down as Brian stuck to Judd Hill. As soon as Hill put his hands on the football, Brian tackled him, and Hill could not hang on, and it's 4th down. and the Rams to punt. And McDonnell is going to punt for Marshfield. Line drive kick that Mahoney and Boudreau will let roll. Did at the 15-yard line, and that's where Weymouth North will begin their first series on offense. Jackson, Chason, McCarthy, Shea, Daly, Gumbright, Hurley. Boudreau, Mahoney, O'Malley, and Brennan. Boudreau, 235 yards against Quincy, 91 yards last week. O'Malley has had almost 150 yards the last 2 weeks. The Ram defense in a moment as Boudreau, nicest way for about 6 before he's brought down by Pete Botello. Marshfield defense, they play a 6-man front. Botello and Gregory will move. They act as linebackers. Number 15, the cornerback, Mike Weber. He is the son of Weymouth South football coach Bart Weber. He's the big linebacker back there. As second man through, Glenn Boudreau will get a first down. Two runs by Glenn Boudreau, both for 6 yards, and Weymouth North is out to their 27-yard line. Billy Keys, the big linebacker in that Marshfield defense. He's a veteran. He is a good linebacker, and he'll be around the ball a lot. You'll be hearing his name a great deal, as Mike Mahoney's first carry is not going to net him anything. Paquette, 64, 45, Picard, and 54, Botello.
Brought down by the center
Stop
of the
Mike Mahoney
line.
after about a couple of feet.
No gain on the play.
Second and 9 for Weymouth North as Mike Mahoney got about a couple of feet on that run. Boudreau in motion. Counter reverse, Mahoney. 35, 40, and brought down by Bob McDonnell after Mike Mahoney picked up a 15-yard gain on the counter reverse. And another first down for Weymouth North. North has used 2 runs by Glenn Boudreau to pick up a first down. Now 2 runs by Mike Mahoney for another first down. As O'Malley with flags down, runs over Keys in the Marshfield territory and brought down at the Marshfield 43, but there are flags down. Offside Marshfield, and Weymouth North will refuse that, as they will take the gain by Mickey O'Malley, his first carry of the day, which got Mickey 14 yards. As Weymouth North has just run right up the middle on Marshfield and have been very successful so far. Brennan, his first pass of the day with a marker down. Caught by Sweeney, and then dropped by Sweeney as Pinatelli pushed it out of his hands. And they're going to say a reception, but there is a marker down. And by the clapping of Weymouth North, it is on Marshfield. Offsides, Marshfield and Weymouth North. So the first down at the Rams 27. As Sean Brennan and Tim Sweeney click on the first Weymouth North passing play of the day. Full house backfield for Weymouth North. O'Malley goes head-on with Bill Keys at the 23, and Keys brings him down right there. Keys had help from Andy Cushman.
Tackle was made by Andy Cushman.
As Cushman got him from the ankles, and Keys met him up about the shoulder pads. As O'Malley got 4, 2nd and 6. Woodrow on the pitch, cuts back to about the 16, and he's close to a first down. Mike Picard tripped him up, but Glenn Woodrow picks up a first down, and Weymouth North has been able to run the ball with success. On their side of the field, they were able to go from guard to guard with ease. Now they're using the tackle area and have been able to run the football very nicely. That's why they're at the Marshfield 16. Run in, play action. Open, chase on, touchdown! Brian Chason was wide open as he got behind Christina Tully.
Brian Chason on that reception.
As the success of the Weymouth North running game allowed Sean Brennan on play action to find Brian Chason, and Weymouth North is on top 6-0. As 4:18 to go in the first period, and Weymouth North, the first time they get their hands on the football, march 85 yards. And Brian Baumeister will look to add point number 7, as that was just simple power football as Weymouth North took it to Marshfield, and the Rams could not stop them. And Sean Brennan's ability to pass, because of the success of the run, was greatly enhanced. As Baumeister adds point number 7, and Weymouth North on homecoming day is off to a good start. 4:18 left in the first period, 7-0 Weymouth North. Brian Baumeister getting set to kick off for Weymouth North to either Dan Cunningham, John McNeil, or Bob McDonnell, as John McNeil is the most dangerous one of the 3. McNeil, an excellent 220 man in track, one of the best in the state. So Baumeister will try to keep it out of McNeil's hands. High kick. Cunningham met at the 14. 20. 30. And he got away from one tackler and was pushed out of bounds. As 22, Mike Weir hit him and pushed him out. As it's homecoming day, you can see the balloons here at Legion Field. And so far, Weymouth North has had something to cheer about. A brilliant 85-yard drive has put them on top. As a fumbled snap, and Ruisi falls on top of it and gains a yard. But there is a marker down, a legal procedure on Marshfield. And we'll see if Weymouth North will accept the penalty. Weymouth North, 9 plays, 85 yards. Brian Chason catching the touchdown pass from Sean Brennan. The Brian Baumeister kick, and that's why it's 7-0 Weymouth North. Ruisi looking for Scott Nelson and overthrowing. Gately and McCluskey were over there. But Scott Ruisi's pass was too far for Scott Nelson.
Announce that the homecoming dance tickets will be on sale by the
Marshfield
all through the game
probably
today.
see Scott Ruisi of Marshfield throw the ball on the second down play with 15 to go. Instead, Dan Cunningham on the handoff. Cunningham gets back to the original line of scrimmage where he is met by about 5 white-shirted Weymouth North tacklers. Gately, Mahoney, Daly. 3 of the 5 that brought down Dan Cunningham.
3rd and 10.
Marshfield on this 3rd and 10. Probably see Ruisi go to the air as he gets things straight on how he wants Sean McNeil and Dan Cunningham to set themselves in the backfield. Throwing deep. And Scott Nelson slipped, as did Robert Gately, who was covering Scott Nelson. So an incomplete pass for Scott Ruisi in 4th down. And Bob McDonnell will be punting once again for Marshfield.
On the 30.
Once again, we want to apologize to the hum. It's just that the public address system at Legion right now is having a little bit of trouble, and it's right near our broadcast location. A line drive kick. Boudreau at his 40. 45. And Di Natale wrestles him down at the 49-yard line. Weymouth North improving on their field position from the first time they had their hands in the football. They started on their own 15, but they went 85 yards to score the only touchdown of the game so far. A Sean Brennan 16-yard pass to Brian Chason. This time they'll start at their own 49, as they've had good success in the early going running the football, which they'll try again. O'Malley, 40, and brought down near the 35 of Marshfield, finally by Bill Keys. As Mickey O'Malley waited for the hole to open, and he just shot right up the middle and got 15 yards and another 1st down. Mickey O'Malley coming into this game was averaging almost 7 yards a carry. 56 carries, 375 yards for the senior tri-captain. He's got the best yards per carry average on Weymouth North. Glenn Boudreau leads in yardage, as Boudreau will try to add to that lead, as he'll only get a couple of yards as Cushman, along with Judd Hill, bring down Glenn Boudreau.
Judd Hill after a shot down. Got the 2nd down and 9.
Very quickly paced first quarter. There's a lot of running plays, especially by Weymouth North. Right now they are in a passing situation, so to speak, 2nd and 8. But they'll run with Mike Mahoney, who will work his way down to the 21. As Vic Paquette and Bill Keys bring down Mike Mahoney. Mahoney 5 yards short of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Weymouth North. Going to be Weymouth North's first 3rd down situation. As Brennan will throw, and he will not be able to get the pass off as Bill Keys will bring him down for a big loss back to the 42 as Bill Keys on the blitz. Sacks Sean Brennan. Tim Sweeney to punt on 4th down as he'll look for the Coffin corner. McDonnell at the 10 gets away from Bob Enos to about the 18 where he's brought down by Greg Gumbright as that will be the final play of the first quarter. As Weymouth North went on an 85-yard drive that finished with a Sean Brennan to Brian Chason pass of 16 yards, and they lead after one, 7-0. Welcome to second quarter action on Marshfield Sharman Legion Field, where Weymouth North leads Marshfield 7-0. On our Bay Shore game of the week as the Maroons, Sean Brennan to Brian Chase on a 16-yard pass play, the only touchdown in this game. As Marshfield on their first play of the second period, as Ruisi had to just get rid of the football. Brian Chason on the blitz. Jamie Jackson was in there, along with Arthur McCarthy, and it was McCarthy who tipped the pass as they put a great deal of pressure on Scott Ruisi. So far, Scott Ruisi has yet to complete a pass. He's attempted 4 so far. On the other side, Sean Brennan is 2 for 2. 32 yards and a touchdown. As Matt Donnell, who's been the workhorse so far, trying to get outside, and Jeff Daly will not let him, as Daly had help from Brian Chason, bringing McDonnell down after about a 4-yard gain. As Marshfield will have a 3rd and 6 situation coming up. Coach Lou Silva sends the play in to Scott Ruisi, and now Ruisi does not like the play, and he'll spend the timeout. Marshfield, when we come back, will have a 3rd and 6. They trail 7-0.
As Marshfield calls a timeout.
On 3rd down situation so far, Scott Ruisi has attempted 2 passes on the 2 3rd down situations for Marshfield. Both have been incomplete. Both have been intended for Scott Nelson. As he'll throw again on 3rd down. Throws over Dennis Shea's hands, and Brian Baumeister knocks down the pass intended for Christy Natali. Baumeister with a possible interception. Didn't think he was able to catch up to the football and pick it off, so he just decided to knock it down. And Bob McDonald, as we are told that is the pronunciation. Earlier we were told McDonnell down in the field, now we're told McDonald. And he'll be in to punt once again for Marshfield. As Glenn Boudreau and Mike Mahoney await the kick. And another line drive kick. Boudreau on a couple of bounces. And he'll be brought down at the 50-yard line. DiNatale and Hatfield bring him down. Weymouth North improving their field position each time they've gotten their hands on the football. Their own 15, their own 49, and now the Marshfield 49 is where they'll officially mark it. Sean Brennan and the Maroon offense have been able to move the football so far. Mike O'Malley gets to about the 45 where Vic Paquette, along with Pete Botello, bring down Vicky after about a 4-yard gain. Next game for Weymouth North, Thanksgiving Day, and we'll be there for the Weymouth North, Weymouth South Thanksgiving Day clash. Speaking of Weymouth South, we'll have highlights of their game with Bridgewater Raynham at halftime. As the loose football that Sean Brennan falls on top of as he fakes to Mike Mahoney. And then Brennan, trying to hand it off to Glenn Boudreau, fumbled the football and falls on top of it. So the play loses 3, and it'll be 3rd and 8 for Weymouth North. As there have been a few slips and a couple of fumbled snaps so far. As Brennan the throw. Boudreau on the screen, and Boudreau is going to be way short of our first down. He'll be brought down at the 45 by Sean Regan. And Tim Sweeney will be called on to punt for the second time. Sweeney averaging almost 33 yards a kick this year. He had a 62-yarder versus Taunton back in the second week of the season. And he'll go coffin corner this time. But it's a short kick. Cunningham, 20. Cunningham will make the 23 where he met Brian Chase on head-on. As Brian Chase on Scott Dan Cunningham. And they're going to mark it at the 21-yard line. As statistics that I have been handed to me by Weymouth North statistician Ben Ells, they state that Brian Chason leads Weymouth North in unassisted tackles. Brian Chason, I don't know if he gets shaken up on that tackle or he got something in his eye. He's over on the sidelines being checked right now. As McDonald is not going anywhere. Dennis Shea, along with Peter Hurley, just grabbed Bob McDonald right at the line of scrimmage. Brian Chason said, okay, he checks back in. Just joined us. We're in the second quarter here at Legion Field. Weymouth North 7 and Marshfield nothing. As here's the pitch to Bob McDonald from Scott Ruisi. McDonald runs into his own blocker and gets about 6 on the play. As Jim McCluskey slowed down his blocker, John McNeil. And then it allowed McDonald to be caught up to by Jeff Daly. And a 6-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 4 situation. And so far, Marshfield is just to capitalize on a 3rd down. It's going to be John McNeil going for the first down on his first carry, and John McNeil has just stood straight up. Arthur McCarthy just stood John McNeil right up at the line of scrimmage. And it's 4th down. And another unsuccessful 3rd down conversion attempt by Marshfield will force Bob McDonald to punt for the 4th time. McDonald gets it away, and a marker is down as McDonald got banged into by a couple of white shirts, and the ball is down at the 40-yard line. And if it's running into the kicker or roughing the kicker, really doesn't matter. It'll still be enough for a Marshfield first down.
Marshfield first down.
And it will be the Rams' first down, as it is going to be a roughing the kicker on Weymouth North. Bob McDonald gets off a low trajectory type kick, and Weymouth North tried to block it. And in their aggressiveness to try to get a piece of McDonald's punt, they ran into him, a couple of Maroons.
Marshfield hasn't really put whether they're trying to push a rush
See if the Rams take advantage of the roughing the kicker call. Their best field position also in this first half by far is McDonald on the toss sweep. 45 and brought down at about the 47 by Jim McCluskey. McDonald gets about 5 on the play.
Brought down by Bishop. On the play.
Marshfield's 2nd and 5, and by far that is the best first down play, 5 yards.
On the 46-yard line.
As this time it's going to be number 33, Christine Natali, in his first carry, and he'll get a first down in the Weymouth North territory at the Maroon 44-yard line. As Christina Talley on the toss sweep gets 6 yards and a first down. Check at 8 yards, but still a first down for Marshfield. Like Ruisi changed plays at the line of scrimmage. Quick pass for Dan Cunningham was behind him as Cunningham headed upfield, and Ruisi was looking for just a quick 2-yard dump off to Dan Cunningham. So apparently Cunningham did not understand the change of plays from Scott Ruisi. 2nd and 10 for Marshfield. Back. This is going to be McDonald once again, and McDonald is not going to have as much success as he had on his last toss sweep run, as Jamie Jackson and Tim Sweeney bring him down for a loss of a yard on the play. And Marshfield has been unsuccessful on 3rd down situations. They're 0 for 4. And they're facing their 5th, which will be a 3rd and 11. Just inside Weymouth North territory at the Maroon 46. Ruisi on the roll. Ruisi pressure, loose football, and Jeff Daly falls on it. And Weymouth North on the turnover as Jamie Jackson went over the back of McDonald and Chris Morris and knocked the ball out of Scott Ruisi's hands, and Jeff Daly falls on top of it. And Weymouth North will take over at the Marshfield 45. As the Maroons were looking to add to a 7-0 lead. Loose football, Brennan, does he have it? Or is it in Andy Cushman's hands? It's in Sean Brennan's mitt. And it's going to be a 6-yard loss. As Sean Brennan pulled away from the center snap of Jeff Daly a little too quickly. A 2nd and 16 for Weymouth North coming up. Glenn Boudreau gets it back about 4 of the 6 yards that Weymouth North lost on their first play. And it sets up a 3rd and 12 for Weymouth North. Third and 12 for Weymouth North. Now timeout, Weymouth North. 1:42 until half, 7-0 North. As Weymouth North with a 3rd and 11 situation. Last time Sean Brennan went to the air. This time to the ground, and Mike Mahoney, and he'll be short of a first down on the reverse, as Sean Riggins saw to Mike Mahoney being short of picking up the first down, stopping him after a 3-yard gain, 4th and 8. Tim Sweeney will be called on to punt. High kick. It's going to be McDonald trying to get his way upfield, and it'll be stopped at about the 18-yard line. As we have 56 seconds to go in the first half, as the Weymouth North band prepares to head out to the field. And we'll see if Marshfield is content to run the first half out, or try to put the ball in the air and get downfield and get themselves into a tie ball game at halftime. McDonald. Unfortunately, in the end of Bob McDonald's run, we had the plug pulled on us for just a second, as McDonald, with the best Marshfield offensive play of the game so far, an 8-yard run. As he'll try once again to the outside, and he'll get a first down as he's rubbed out of bounds by Gately and Daly. And a first down for Marshfield.
Now Gately did the tackle.
As Marshfield will spend a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And we'll see if Marshfield decided to go deep with a pass or just sit on the football in the first half. Confusion. McDonald will get about a yard as Marshfield decided to readjust the way things have been for them in the first half, as they've had only 3 first downs, as in the first half, Weymouth North on their first possession went 85 yards and finished with a Sean Brennan to Brian Chason touchdown pass, and that's why at halftime they lead 7-0. Highlights of the Weymouth South Bridgewater Raynham football game coming up, as well as second half action, so please stay tuned.
I'd like to remind you, Weymouth North football band.
Weymouth South at Bridgewater Raynham. It was a tough physical contest, as Keith Nastasio in the early going will be escorted quite rudely out of bounds. Nastasio, a couple of plays later, will throw this interception to John Schlatt. Schlatt will take it all the way for a touchdown, but there was a penalty flag that wiped out the Schlatt's interception return for a touchdown. But Bridgewater Raynham is undefeated this season, And they showed why is losing that touchdown interception return by John Schlax did not stop them. As Jeff Iafredi will roll and find Billy Donovan open for a touchdown with the extra point kick by Jack Welby. It was 7-0 Bridgewater Raynham. But Weymouth South has been scrappy and tough all season. They showed why as the Wildcats marched right back down the field on Bridgewater Raynham. As the Wildcats pushed it deep in the Bridgewater Raynham territory, but it was Weymouth South who stopped Weymouth South on this drive. As this tip pass interception by Toby Wyman stopped one South drive. But South was determined to come back and possibly tie the game as the Wildcats mounted a pretty drive to the Bridgewater Raynham end zone behind the running of Joe Sylvester and Steve Goslin. One pass was needed in this drive. Keith Nastasia will find Scott Koval open over the middle, and it set up a 1st and goal for 3. 2 plays later, Joe Sylvester closes the gap to 7-6. And we've got a ball game, as that's how the first half ended. Second half, a big mistake comes up from Weymouth South. As the Wildcats, Joe Sylvester fumbles the football. John Schlax of Bridgewater Raynham recovers. The Trojans take advantage of the miscue as Lou Pacheco brings it down to the 4. A couple of plays later, it is John Schlax on this 3-yard dive up the middle. Extra point, 14-6 at this point. And Weymouth South continues to hurt themselves. Another fumble that is recovered by Mike Hardy of Bridgewater Raynham. The Trojans move it close to the Weymouth South goal line as Lou Pacheco .37, Weymouth South 20.
If your new attitude
Welcome back, everybody, to second half action as Weymouth North leads Marshfield. Entering quarter number 3, 7-0 as Weymouth North on their first possession of the ball game went 85 yards to the Marshfield end zone behind the running of Glenn Boudreau, Mickey O'Malley and Mike Mahoney, and a couple of Sean Brennan passes thrown in there as he completed a 16-yarder to Tim Sweeney and a 16-yard touchdown pass to Brian Chason. Brian Baumeister hit the extra point, and that's where we stand. Weymouth North leading Marshfield 7-0. Maroons controlling the bulk of the play in the first half, but only have a 7-0 lead to show for it as Bob McDonald about set to begin the second half, kicking off to either Mike Mahoney, Glenn Boudreau, and a high kick. Michael Mahoney at the 20. Mahoney, 35. Mahoney to the outside, 40. 45 into Marshfield territory, and he's tripped up by Bob McDonald. As Bob McDonald just got his hand on Mike Mahoney, and if he didn't, Mike Mahoney was going the distance as the Weymouth North offense that got the touchdown in the first half. Brian Chase on the touchdown reception. Mike Mahoney almost breaking the second half kickoff for a touchdown. A 46-yard return for Mike Mahoney. As Mickey O'Malley pushes his way across the 45 to the 44, Andy Cushman and Vic Paquette stop him. The Marshfield defense. And they've been on the field a great deal of the time. As Brennan's first pass of the second half is caught by Chason. Bryan will be short of a first down by about 5 yards as John Hatfield, from his defensive end position, goes out and grabs Brian Chason. As we begin the second half, I will remind you once again, unfortunately, they did not straighten out the problems with the public address system. They're still trying to work on it. As Sean Brennan on third down gives to Glenn Boudreau. Boudreau close to a first down. Marker down as Mike Weber on the tackle. And a flag is going to be holding on Weymouth North. So Glenn Boudreau, who apparently had a first down, will see that run wiped out. And Weymouth North, instead of having the first down, will face a 3rd and 16. Last time in a 3rd and long situation, Sean Brennan attempted to pass and was sacked by Bill Keyes in the first half. It's Mike Mahoney, and Mahoney's going to be way short of the first down as Dick Paquette brought down Mike Mahoney. So Mike Mahoney, who takes the second half kickoff all the way to the Marshfield 45-yard line, and the Maroons look like they had something going. It's Glenn Boudreau. So the good kickoff return by Mike Mahoney is squandered as Tim Sweeney gets off a line drive kick. McDonald bobbles. 20. McDonald makes it to the 26. He bounced off Arthur McCarthy and is brought down by Jamie Jackson along with Greg Gumbright. As Marshfield reintroduced their offense. McDonald has been doing most of the groundwork. Scott Ruisi has yet to complete a pass. So the holding penalty stops Weymouth North on their first possession. As McDonald gets about 3, maybe 4, tripped up by Jeff Daly. The Weymouth North defense, which has really stopped Marshfield for the most part. McDonald in trouble, and he's going to lose a couple of yards as Jeff Daly, Brian Baumeister, and Jamie Jackson are there as Mike Mahoney forced McDonald to cut back. And the trio of Maroons brought down McDonald for a yard loss. Marshfield with a 3rd down and 8 to go. Ruisi to throw. He had a man out there, Dan Cunningham, but his pass was too short for Cunningham as it bounced to him and also away from Dan. And Bob McDonald will be called to punt once again, as Marshfield has been unable to capitalize on a third down situation. Kick, but a short kick. Boudreau on the run. Into Marshfield territory goes Glenn Boudreau to the 46. Keys, DiNatale, and Paquette, along with Hatfield, bring down Glenn Boudreau. Check Mike Mahoney across the 45 to about the 43. As Mahoney gets a couple of yards. Ever since that first drive, Weymouth North has really not moved a great deal, but when they have, it's been themselves that have stopped their own drive. As Brennan the throw. Chase on just could not catch up to the Sean Brennan pass, as he was just a shade behind Christina Tolley. If Bryant did catch up to it, it would have been a big gain. And Weymouth North is faced with a 3rd and 8. Marshfield will have it. John Hatfield falls on the football at the Weymouth North 42-yard line, and Marshfield with a great opportunity. As the Rams will have a 1st and 10 at the Weymouth North 43 after Sean Brennan had it pushed out of his hands by, I believe, Bill Keys, and John Hatfield won the race to the football, and the Rams in great field position. Mix-up in the backfield caused by Tim Sweeney as he brings down Bob McDonald. Sweeney on the blitz came through and grabbed Scott Ruizzi, and as soon as Ruizzi handed off to Bob McDonald, Tim Sweeney wrapped up the Marshfield sophomore tailback. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Marshfield. Get up! Get up! Ruizzi complete to DiNatale. Fumble. And Weymouth North will have it. Christina Tolley took the little swing pass from Scott Ruizzi, and Jim McCluskey just threw down DiNatale, and DiNatale lost the football, and Mickey O'Malley recovers, and Weymouth North stops the Marshfield threat by forcing a fumble and recovering in Marshfield territory. As here's Glenn Boudreau. Boudreau to the 43, where he's met straight on by Mike Picard and Bill Keys. as Glenn gains 4 on the play. Weymouth North try to take advantage of the Marshfield fumble and increase their 7-0 lead. They've had other opportunities, but the Marshfield defense has stopped them. As Boudreau again, he'll be short of a first down by about a yard as he makes it to the 40-yard line. Third, 1.5 yards. As right now on your screen you see ex-Weymouth North assistant Ralph Goslin. He's been down in Marshfield for the past couple of years. Goslin, an assistant coach with Weymouth North, late 70s, 1980. As Mickey O'Malley trying to muscle his way for a first down. He's going to be close from where our broadcast location is. It looks as though Mickey has it. But now the spotting of the football, and he's going to be short. And they're going to call for a measurement. Foot shy, Weymouth North of a first down. It'll be 4th and a foot. And we'll find out if Weymouth North will go for it. Which they'll probably do, with it only being a foot to go. A couple of Marshfield players back. Brennan, second effort, may have gotten him the first down because he was originally stopped by the middle of the Marshfield line. Botello and Gregory slowed down Brennan, but Brennan spun and maybe got it on second effort as Jeff Daly got up limping. First down, Weymouth North by a football. Once again, we want to apologize for the little hum you hear in the background. Unfortunately, the public address system, which is not working, has not been turned off, and that's the reason for the static in the background. As Boudreau, 30, 20, he could go all the way, but he's bumped out by Christine Natali at the 4-yard line. And if Dean Natali does not bump him out, Glenn Boudreau will head 6. Glenn Boudreau, a 35-yard run as they'll put it on the 3-yard line. And Weymouth North, first and goal, looking to cash in on the Mike O'Malley fumble recovery. O'Malley shot short of the goal line. Scott Nelson and Bill Keys, along with Peter Botello, bring down Mickey O'Malley as they'll put it at about the 2. Weymouth North is just simply going to pound 4 plays into the line to try to put it in the end zone. As O'Malley again, touchdown! It was a simple matter of just banging straight ahead, and Mickey O'Malley did just that, and Weymouth North now leads 13-0. as Mickey O'Malley was shaken up after he scored the touchdown. And he's okay as he comes off under his own power. Brian Baumeister looking to add point number 14 for Weymouth North. He does, as Weymouth North is celebrating homecoming very nicely. 14-0 they lead. After the fumble recovery by Mickey O'Malley, that was caused by Jim McCluskey's tackle on Christy Natale, Weymouth North goes on a 48-yard drive to push their lead up to 14. As Brian Baumeister gets set to kick off. Good kick by Brian. McDonald, 15. 25, and down at the 30-yard line will be Bob McDonald. And McDonald is not getting out too quickly as he's shaken up on the play. As he's been the workhorse so far for Marshfield, and he's being helped off the field. Coach Lou Silva walking off with him, as well as the Marshfield trainer. Getting about 3 is Dan Cunningham, as he's now shifted to the backfield. Cunningham, before the season, was considered to be in the running for the starting quarterback spot for Marshfield, along with Scott Ruisi and Mike Weber. Ruisi won the battle, has performed well for the Rams. Cunningham was shifted to the backfield, as the Rams alternate a lot of people in there, besides McDonald, Cunningham, DiNatale, McNeil. As Ruisi under pressure, incomplete, intended for DiNatale, who felt that Jim McCluskey interfered. But what Jim McCluskey did do was lay on Christy Natale a wicked hit. 3rd and 7 for Marshfield. The Rams looking to get a first down to build some sort of momentum. But Weymouth North, as far as defensing 3rd down and long situations, they have Marshfield at 0 for 6. And now 0 for 7 as Ruisi throws wild, intending his pass for DiNatale. So Bob McDonald, who was shaken up, and we'll see if he will do the punting, if he's okay, or who will do the punting. Watching Marshfield in warm-ups, Bill Keys was getting off some pretty good kicks. McDonald, and he just hits a bad kick. It's as simple as that. As it rolls dead at the Weymouth North 41, and Sean Brennan and company have not had bad field position that often in this game. The only time they really did have it, they went 85 yards for a touchdown. Glenn Boudreau, straight ahead for about 3. As the third quarter is coming to a close. Seconds of quarter number 3. Weymouth North 14, Marshfield nothing. And that is the third quarter. Weymouth North gets a touchdown in the third quarter, taking advantage of a fumble recovery by Mike O'Malley and going 48 yards for a touchdown after 3. It is Weymouth North 14, Marshfield nothing. Welcome to fourth quarter action from Legion Field, where Weymouth North leads the Rams of Marshfield 14-0. Mark Ducharme at Legion Field as the Maroons with the football, 2nd and 7, and here's Glenn Boudreau. Boudreau getting about 4 before he's brought down by John Hatfield, but there's a marker down. Holding Weymouth North is the call. And now a personal foul. And the referee who signaled it is former Quincy High football coach Hank Conroy. So you can possibly have 2 penalties. I believe we do. Holding on Weymouth North and a personal foul on Weymouth North as somebody said something. As both are marked off. So Weymouth North will have a 2nd and 33 for a first down. Glenn Boudreau spinning his way to about the 27-yard line, where Mike Weber brings him down along with John Hatfield. For Marshfield, after this game, they will be playing Duxbury on Thanksgiving Day. It's a renewal of a long-time rivalry. While Weymouth North and Weymouth South get going in their 14th meeting as Arthur McCarthy beat the count. And it will cost Weymouth North 5 yards. And one reason I'm bringing up that Weymouth North, Weymouth South game in, as well as the Marshfield Duxbury game, they're all tied in together, believe it or not. And I'll explain after this play. As Mickey O'Malley busts across the 30 to the 31, where Vic Paquette brings him down along with Paul Young. Now it's almost a family affair in that Marshfield-Duxbury game, as we're going to have a Weymouth North punt coming up. But the family affair is this. Mike Weber, I mentioned, starting cornerback for Marshfield. Starting fullback and linebacker for Duxbury is Coach Dick McPherson's son, John. Thanksgiving's going to be pretty interesting in those 2 households. as Dan Cunningham watches the punt die at the 41-yard line. And that's where Marshfield will start. The Rams have had no success here in the second half on offense. They've had 7:51 to decide if they're going to get themselves back into this game, get something going. As all the cheers have been for Weymouth North so far. The pass, and he's way short of the mark. The intended receiver was Dan Cunningham. Get back to that Thanksgiving Day game, Marshfield to Duxbury. Another interesting sidebar is the fact that Marshfield assistant coach Ralph Goslin, who used to coach at Weymouth North as an assistant, his nephew, Steve, is the starting Wildcat fullback. So when Marshfield and Duxbury get together, there's going to be a lot of talk on what's going on up at Legion Field. And vice versa, as Ruisi to pass again. Intercepted, Brian Chason, 20, he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Brian Chason. It was a screen setup, and Ruisi looked for Dan Cunningham who went down, but Brian Chason, all 6'4" of him, got in the passing lane, and it was 6 points as he made a couple of good moves to the end zone. As Weymouth North in command, 20-0, and over the past years, as I mentioned in my introductory remarks, Marshfield has come back from 14-0 type deficits going into the fourth quarter to defeat Weymouth North the last 2 years. It doesn't look like it's going to be this year because Weymouth North has controlled this game for the most part. They've allowed Marshfield nothing. As Baumeister's kick is no good, 7:34 to go. It's all Weymouth North. Brian Baumeister's kick. John McNeil at the 14. McNeil. Loose football. And Weymouth North falls on it. McNeil just had it punched out of his hands by Bob Gately, who recovers the football. As Weymouth North's last touchdown, Brian Chason, 38-yard pass interception return. And the Maroons right now are threatening to add more points on the board. Glenn Boudreau to the 12. Bill Keys brings him down. As Weymouth North with a 2nd and 4. Boudreau again stopped short of the 10. McNeil with a tackle. 3rd and 2 for Weymouth North. Brennan looking. End zone. Intercepted. Christina Tolley. As Christina Tolley on the interception, as Marshfield's run a play, Dan Cunningham for a yard, and now Scott Ruisi gets a yard, and the Rams will have a 3rd down, as we had a shot of Arthur McCarthy, who hurt his ankle, as We wind under 4:50 to go, and it's been the Weymouth North defense that has allowed Marshfield absolutely nothing. The Rams' first down in this game came in the second quarter on a roughing the kicker penalty. Since then, Marshfield's only got 2 first downs, and those were late in the first half. As a ground ball in the shotgun to Ruisi, who's knocked down by Brian Chason. A bad snap to Scott Ruisi, and Ruisi tried anything he could do to get rid of the football, at least pass it and not get the loss, but Brian Chason was not going to let him get the pass off, and Marshfield will have to punt again. Bob McDonald, the punt. And he gets a bad snap and just gets it past Jamie Jackson. As Vic Paquette will fall on it at the 42-yard line. And a lot of white shirts head onto the field for Weymouth North as the second-team players head in. The starting offense did their job. They put 14 points on the board. They could have put a few more. But the starting defense, which is as well the starting offense for the most part, was strong here today. As we'll give you the reserves as they get into the action, as Kenny Snell gets about 3 yards. Snell in the backfield. You have Sean Christmas coming in. You have Eric Pantella. 64 is Ed Steele. 61, Frank Marino. 84, John Breed. 45, Andrew Stern. Two weeks ago, we saw most of these players against Quincy as Sean Christmas slips. Kevin Mackin, 71, is Coach Dick McPherson just shuttling the players in as Marshfield spends a timeout. Brian Chason and Mickey O'Malley, they've accounted for all the Weymouth North scoring this afternoon. Chason caught a 16-yard touchdown pass from Sean Brunnen. Mickey O'Malley a 2-yard run. Then Chason on a 38-yard interception return as Mike Matheson, his first pass of the day, and intended for either Brian Agar, 33, or John Daly, 85, but the pass was just thrown away by Mike Matheson as the two of them were covered. So the talk now can begin towards Thanksgiving Day for both these teams, as in the final 2:35 for Weymouth North. They'll go in with a 3-game winning streak. Weymouth South, not knowing how they've done at the time of this taping, so a bad snap as just whoops, I'll get it away, kick by Bobby Connors as the flag is down. As that wasn't exactly what you want to put down in the highlight films for how to punt a football. Illegal motion, Weymouth North refused. So Marshfield will start. On their own 21-yard line. And a lot of fresh green shirts have come into the lineup. But we head to Thanksgiving Day, and it's going to be probably similar in a lot of ways to last year. as both teams are more or less record-wise coming in the same way. Momentum-wise, not the same way, but you throw that out the door as 77 Walter Tilton brings down Greg Smith. After what was about a 2-yard gain. And looking at this Thanksgiving, it's really, to throw out momentum and all that, it's a brand new season, and we'll find out. As a marker goes down, and getting back to this game for a moment, legal procedure, Marshfield. But this year's game, very similar. It's just like everybody said this is about what's going to happen for North, or this is going to happen for South. Same things can be said this year, but it's a brand new season when these two teams meet Thanksgiving, and it's going to be a good football game. That is the guarantee. And this place is going to be packed, and that's the other guarantee. As trying to get outside and being cut down after about a yard gain is Tim Regan by Andrew Stern. 3rd and 13 for Marshfield, as Mike Weber has taken over the duties for the Rams. And don't forget, we'll be with you Thanksgiving Day to bring you all the action. As Mike Weber to pass. And it's caught, deflected by Bob Manning into the hands of 82, Mike Diptreg, and it's short of a first down by 5 yards. And you know Marshfield's going to go for it. They are going to try anything they can to try to avert the shutout. But as I mentioned, we'll be there Thanksgiving. We will not be airing it Thanksgiving night, but the following night. The Friday, and then the following Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. As Mike Weber cannot complete his pass to Diptreg. As Mike Diptreg just could not hang on to it. It's a good pass by Mike Weber, but Diptreg just did not hang on to it. So Weymouth North will grind out the final seconds. And the Maroons will go into Thanksgiving Day 4 and 5. For Marshfield, they'll go down to their Thanksgiving Day game 3-5 and 1 and prepare for Duxbury. Going into the line is Eric Pantella for about 4 yards. As Weymouth North will be celebrating victory number 4 as the final seconds wind down. As homecoming day was a happy day for the Maroons. As Weymouth North defeats Marshfield 20-0. Marshfield did not get a first down in the second half. The Weymouth North defense doing their thing as Weymouth North capped off an 85-yard drive to begin the game with Sean Brennan to Brian Chase on point after kick. Brian Baumeister 7-0. That's